Packard 12 Stationary Coupe by Dietrich 1934. Series 1108. Body style 4068. 160 bhp, 445.5 cubic inches modified L-head V12 engine, 3-speed selective synchro mesh manual transmission, vacuum assisted clutch, shaft drive with a hypoid rear axle, front and rear leaf spring suspension, and 4-wheel vacuum assisted mechanical drum brakes. Wheelbase, 147 inches. Packard management, while conservative, was always on the lookout for new talent. When Raymond Dietrich set up Dietrich Incorporated in Detroit as the design arm of Murray Body Corporation, his smart and elegant designs attracted the attention of East Grand Boulevard. As a result, Packard soon became one of Dietrich's best customers, to the point where they incorporated his styling cues in later production cars. After 1933, all open Packards carried Dietrich body tags, as they recognized the influence of Dietrich's work. However, as all true Packard aficionados know, Dietrich does not necessarily mean Dietrich. True Dietrichs are the so-called individual custom cars that were built and offered on a limited production basis, with only a few of each style being produced per year between 1931 and 1934. These individual customs were offered only on Packard's Senior 8 and 12 chassis, and their lines were simply exquisite, beginning with its graceful V-ed windshield, continuing onto the Dietrich's trademark beltline, and finishing with a superb and elegantly tailored roofline and tail. One of the most impressive Dietrich bodies was the two-passenger stationary coupe, so named to set it apart from the Coupe Roadster. This body was the ultimate in classic aerologic, and it rode the same 147-inch wheelbase 1108 chassis as other 11th series individual custom Dietrichs, but it could hold only a comfortable pair of adults and their luggage. It was a stunning machine that looked as powerful as, indeed, it was. 5 surviving 1934 11th Series 12 individual custom stationary coupes are known, of which all but the car offered here are held in long-term, private museum collections, from which they are unlikely to soon emerge. The stationary coupe offered here is vehicle number 110832, and it was delivered on November 1, 1933, to Morristown Packard, of New Jersey, as is indisputably proven by the original vehicle number plaque still attached to the firewall. While the original Dietrich breast tag is no longer mounted to the wood below the driver's seat, it was fortunately photographed on the car by a previous owner, identifying it as being body style number 4068, the stationary coupe, and body number 8232. Most impressively, we know the name of the original owner, thanks to a properly filled out service booklet for Packard lubrication service, which accompanies the car. The booklet notes that model 1108, with engine number 901,979, was sold new on November 2, 1933, to Mrs. A.J.E. Ken, who had addresses in both Morristown and Madison. Given that the date of sale is so near to that of the car's delivery, it is likely that rather than being built as a showroom display model, this car was specifically crafted for Mrs. E. Ken. Mrs. E. Ken is believed to have been the spouse of Andrew Jackson E. Ken, one of the contractors who built the Empire State Building. The next owner of record for vehicle number 110832 was Charles Earl Thiel, who purchased it on August 27, 1957, from Valerie Motors, of Mamaroneck, New York. Mr. Thiel's ownership of the car was no secret, and it was definitely known to enthusiasts, as he is listed with the car in Edward J. Blind's The Magnificent Packard 12 of 1934. He worked on its restoration for over 40 years, in a garage that had been built specifically for this purpose, as it was completely walled in and without a garage door, to keep prying eyes away and to make theft considerably more difficult. The car was acquired from the Thiel estate by Ralph Marano, the first of several important modern-day Packard enthusiasts to have since owned this stationary coupe. Its restoration, which was performed by well-known Stone Barn Restorations, of Alpha, New Jersey, was begun for Carmen Zeccardi, but it was completed for J. Frank Ricciardelli, who had fallen in love with the car's elegant lines and masterful detailing. Reportedly, The car's long, careful storage in the Thiel garage had preserved it well, and the panels and paint surfaces were able to be fit laser tight, with only minor repairs. Considerable research was required to determine the correct colors for the car, which ended up being a lovely, very subtle two-tone mint green arrangement that had been taken from the original sales manual for the individual customs. A small square of the original upholstery provided proof of the original materials and weave, while a period photograph reportedly determined the colors. The result is a truly wonderful car with an undeniably authentic look. The completed car debuted at the 2005 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance, where, in a virtually unprecedented performance, it was recognized with a first-in-class, the CCCEA Award of Excellence, and the most elegant closed car. Given that historical factory documentation simply does not exist for Packards, it is rare indeed to find a Dietrich individual custom with proof of its origins, but in this case, not only does this car have its original firewall-mounted data tag, it also has the service booklet, which confirms its original engine number, original owner, and delivery details. This confirmed history, coupled with the best modern, authentic restoration, which has been recognized as superlative by the most finicky of judges, has resulted in a truly superb Packard 12, one that has lines that are anything but stationary.